Hey, let's see. Cleaning out a pool. First thing you do is get the skimmer. See all the leaves and everything, so gotta get the skimmer cleaned out and everything. And you just dump that on the ground and make sure that the pump is running when you do the skimmer, because if you don't, all the dirt will go back into the pool. Okay, and then after you're done with it, then you just go ahead and put your lid back on. And then the next thing you want to do is check for leaves on the bottom. And when you check for leaves on the bottom of the pool, we got a few ways to do it. But first, after we clean the first skimmer out, we go to the second skimmer, which is on the pump, and we check and see if that's good. Most of the time, that's always good unless you're running a vacuum. And we're using a 24-inch sand filter, and you go around and you scrape the sides. And I normally push everything to the middle of the pool, and then I use the vacuum, and I vacuum it that way. But I didn't have that many leads because I had already raked most of them out. So what I did is just raked everything off the sides, cleaned the sides off, and then I went through. And after everything set for about 15 minutes, I went through and I started skimming the top, and then I also went to the bottom and got whatever leaves was there, and I kind of agitated some of the spots that I thought were problem areas, and I kind of scooped those up too. So if you see, I'm scooping up leaves and bugs and stuff like that. And the reason why I do that is because once I put the vacuum in there, I won't be able to skim from the top. So I try to get as much as I can off top, because if not, eventually some of those things will fall to the bottom. So as I go around, I'm constantly agitating, getting leaves, bugs, stuff like that out. I don't have pets or nothing like that in the pool, so that's not a big concern of mine. And it's just a process. You take it slow and work your way around. And I always start what I like to think is 12 o'clock, and I work my way around counterclockwise, and then I end up back to where I originally went. And sometimes I make 2 or 3 rounds, and I'm always scanning out to the middle of the pool. And I have a long telescopic net, so I telescope it out and I cast it out, and then I scrape from the inside to the middle of the pool, or the diameter of the pool, and then I come back into me. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to prime the hose. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the hose and I'm putting it into the return. So I got forced water going in there and purging all that air out. So as it goes through, it's forcing water to go inside the tube. And at the very far end, you'll see where the ladder is hanging at. I have the vacuum head sitting there, and the vacuum head start blowing bubbles out. And once there's no more bubbles, then I'm pretty much done, and then I'll go ahead and release it to the bottom. I usually start at the far end. So if I'm at the 12 o'clock, I'll release it at the 6 o'clock. And then it'll just randomly go around, and it sucks up the sand or debris or anything that's on the very bottom. And so once I drop it to the bottom, I try to keep it submerged and work my way back to the inlet. And what I'm doing now is I have to figure out how to keep the water in and go to the skimmer. So I usually come straight in. I come see that right there it's already plugged in right there. And so now it's pumping and everything is done. The pool, I let the pool run for about 2 hours, sometimes 2 to 4 hours, depending on how dirty it is. And then after I'm done with about 2 to 4 hours, then I super shock it. And once I super shock it, that takes care of the rest. Doesn't take that long. Manually, my labor itself is probably about an hour's worth of labor. It's no more than cutting the grass or something like that. So that's how you clean a pool.